Kerr Park. This park means a lot to me. I grew up playing baseball here. I grew up in the area. And so being able to reimagine this park means a great deal to this community from many different levels. From a structural level where families can come out and play, a safe place, a place where they can have movie nights, a place where they can have mentoring programs. But then also it creates economic stimulus point for this business community. If you know anything about the West Side corridor area, this business community flourished through the years. And so this park was a big anchor to that. And so what I like to do, where's Miss Carney? I think Miss Carney been living here for what,
since 1967.
1967.
Same house, right?
Same house right here behind the Kerr Park. And so if she could, I think it's more valuable to really understand from the neighbors, the residents that live here and what this park really means. And so I would like, if possible, Ms. Carney, just to introduce herself, and if you could say just a couple of things, that'd be great. And then Ms. Kathy, we'll go to Ms. Kathy and Ms. Patterson.
Okay, my name is Mary Carney. This is my husband, Lester Carney. As Mr. Brenton said, I've been living in that little house since 1967. I've seen things change immensely, and I'm really glad that we're trying to do something really to let the little kids have something to do in our area, like there. We haven't had kids coming to this area in a long time, so I'm kind of excited about that. So I'm just here to see what plans are coming up, and if I can make any suggestions or whatever, we're here to do that. We're here to support the program. So, thank you.
And also Ms. Kathy, I know she's somewhat shy.
Hi, my name is Kathy Mills Branchley. I live in the yellow house over there, and my husband and I have lived here for over 20 years. And we have seen the park dwindle down from what it used to be. We used to see people roller skating in the park. They had like roller skating competitions. They would dance. We had a Little League baseball team over here. It was great to sit on the front porch and drink your lemonade and hear, hey, batter, 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 batter. So that was great. We look forward to that every summer, like June, July, and towards the beginning of August, which was wonderful. Kids would come and play in the park. Unfortunately, somebody burned down the slide a few years back, so it was never replaced. So we would just like to see this rebuilt and revitalized and get children and families coming back to a family-oriented and safe place. So if you guys could really help us out with that, we really appreciate it. Thank you.
My name is Peggy Patterson. I live in that second house over there. I've been here about 42 years. My kids went to school up at Bolton, played in the park. And I remember when the baseball team was all here and driving and, parking on the side streets here. And it was really nice to hear the kids singing batter, batter, And I would like to see the park continue with the older things that we used to do, not the current now. We need progress, because the community is where our kids grow up in, and we would like to see some improvement.
So we've heard from a few of the residents that stay close to the park. A very intricate partner to this has been Jackie Easley. I'll let Jackie Easley talk about who she is and give her background. But she's been my partner. We did an Akron tour here, part of Better Block. I mean, she's just been so great and just moving.
My name is Jackie Easley, and I am one of the merchants here, one of the Maple Valley merchants. My business is right over on the corner. It's a hair salon. So I stand on my corner many days and I look over here, and many days I've dreamed of what this park could look like. Even though it needs working on now, it's still a beautiful park, I feel. And I grew up in this community. Booked all around here, and spent many days in this park with different affairs. The firefighters is right there. Every year they were doing a community day where they gave hot dogs and hamburgers and had a really nice band. Really nice band. And so I would just like to see this park restored to the tennis courts. We have a very strong bunch of people in this area that play tennis. My sister works with me across the street. She even plays tennis. So we would really like to see the tennis court, and as well as maybe add the pickleball into the court. And I had heard the history of this park. I'm embarrassed I didn't quite retain it, but it was quite a story. It would take too much time to tell the story anyway today. I don't want to take up all the time. And another concern that I have is that Akron is building houses over on Diagonal. They're going to be building up on Moyle Avenue. So we want to give them something to be able to utilize, the resource. Okay, I'm buying a house in this community, but what's my resources? Oh, it's a park down the street. You know, I could come have a family picnic, or my kid could come play. We need to get that baseball field going, you know. Just really pick this park up, and I just really feel like this is just a beautiful park, and I am asking for your support and uplifting this park for the God-given purpose of this community. Thank you.
I also would like to introduce one of my favorite council persons. It's been a huge influence on my life as far as giving back to the community, and that's Miss Renee Green over here. And so I'll let the rest of everybody else introduce themselves if you want to say anything. But Miss Renee has been influential in all of our lives in regards to making change in our community. So I'll let her say something. I know she wants to say something.
Yeah, it's very nice that whatever he said was muffled under that, so I'm assuming it was all good. Okay. But through this whole process of trying to reinvent Kerr Park is the best thing that could happen for families in this community. On both sides of Copley, we are gaining more and more families. This is a very good sign for this community, saying that it's still worth growing up in as the city of Akron is. With more things to do for children over here is going to make them come. What I'd like to see happen on the other side of what your ability is to do is to get some volunteers out here to make sure the kids are safe, to teach them social skills like playing games with other people, interactive, and make the park an intergenerational place. My grandson was one of the few children that came down here when we had a program called SLR. We mowed this lawn, cut the grass, raked the leaves, cleaned up behind people that were here. But the most disturbing part of what they did, we used to find marijuana plants growing up under the slide because it was used by that generation. We want to take it back from those people and make it a whole family environment so that we don't have those conflicts and what the purpose of this park is to be. I would like for Mrs. Carney and Mrs. Peggy to have so much going on in this park that they can call the current councilman and complain about what's going on, how long, and to turn off those lights. We want activity here, and we thank you for bringing that opportunity to us.
First of all, I want to say it's a blessing that you're here because we're honored that you're considering Kerr Park as a playground to be redone for the youth in this community. My name is Michael Irby. I am the president of the 100 Black Men of America Incorporated. We're a national organization that's supporting this project, and we are the 100 Black Men of Akron. And what our organization's visions for this community is not just a playground where kids can play basketball and tennis, but a lot of other resources that our organization could bring that would help them in their education in schools. We are one of the mentoring programs here in Akron. Mentoring is our cornerstone of our organization. We mentor kids from 5th grade to high school and beyond, and we see where a lot of things that we can bring to this playground to enhance all the opportunities for the youth in this community. And not only that, involve their parents in the activities also. So once again, I'd just like to say thank you for considering us, and I hope you see that this will be very important for this community and for the youth. And we thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Ricky Allen. I'm actually with the Cleveland Clinic orthopedic team, but I'm involved with this because Mr. EJ asked me, but I'm with the Summit County Public Library. I'm a board member of the Summit County Public Library Maple Valley branch. So that's close in our cluster here. So for me, it's so important for the youth, number one, to have like my other panel members here that's involved. It's so important for the youth to have somewhere to play safely and have a place where they can play without the craziness going on. This means so much to this park, this community. This park has been stood here for years. I didn't grow up in this area, but I grew up further up, but we used to walk down here and play tennis and play basketball and play baseball. So this park needs a facelift. And we're so honored that, number one, that you are here to give it an opportunity to give a facelift and give the kids hope. So I'm involved in a lot of different ways, and I'm rolling up my sleeves from the standpoint to say, hey, I want to be involved, and of course, if you need any kind of care, come see us at Cleveland Clinic Orthopedic. I had to stick that plug in there. So yes, I'm honored to be here with these guys, rolling up their sleeves to be involved, because that's the only way it's going to happen. The adults have to get involved to show the kids, to make a difference, to show them, hey, there's more out there than getting in trouble, and then keep them focused another way. Thank you.
I got something.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
My name is Shirley Perry, and I live down a little further on the corner of Nome and Lawton, and I've been in my house since 1971. My sons, of course, they're grown now. We used to come to this park. They used to have a lunch program here. They had all kind of activities here, and I don't know what happened, but it is a big difference. What I would like to know, what can we do to get this park back the way it used to be? I mean, besides just talking about it, we need to do something about it.
I think you just gave a great segue. And I just want to say thank you to Bridget, because you know, this is our third application for this park. And Bridget has been consistent in helping us build a plan for this park. And her consistency has allowed partners throughout the community like United Way, the City of Akron, Teresa's group, I'm always messing that name up, but partners that want to invest into this park. And Kaboom has put together a great plan for this park where we can rubberize the playground, and we can forward that. I'm sure you all may have it, but if not, Bridget or myself. But I wanted to make sure I thank Bridget, because you know, she said, anyway, you didn't get it this time, you didn't get it this time, but anyway, that I can help, and she's been consistent in trying to make sure we move from talk to action. And the mayor's been very, speaking with the mayor about this park. The mayor's been committed to this park, and just to thank how we got here from all the other partners that aren't here today. So I just wanted to say, yes, I think that's a great segue to what I kind of wanted to end with, and leave with any questions that you guys may have.
I've got a few questions. I'm Alan. I'm the president of the Akron Parks Collaborative, president of the board.
Okay.
Bridget's obviously our executive director. She's the one that actually does most everything. But congratulations on being a finalist again, and hopefully this is your year. I know a lot of us you are one of 4 finalists. So everybody has a park that is of need, and everybody's park is unique. And I think I've heard a lot about that you want to bring youth out. And so obviously you have a playground that is tired, it needs some help.
Very
Clearly, and there's a lot to this park. It's a beautiful park. But as I'm hearing a lot about youth, but what about more than the youth? What about the parents? What about you folks that you've lived here for decades? What is this park? What should it do for you beyond just the youth? Because I know it's easy to say, okay, we'll put up a basketball hoop, or we'll put up a new playground. But what about that gets all of the community involved? What could we do? And what ideas do you have that you think would involve all the generations of the neighborhood here? And I think that's for us really important. We want to see that it's not just for kids, because yes, it is important for kids, but you want to be here with your grandchildren, or you want to be here with your great-grandchildren, and you should be here with your children. And it should be a family place to gather. So what can we do? What ideas do you have that, beyond just saying it's a playground for kids, but for adults too? What would make this place special for you to come back to?
What about picnic tables? That whole area there is very clear. It's a beautiful area. Even if we had a few picnic tables there.
Okay.
Can you visualize that?
And also, I just retired, and I'm sure a lot of the other people have. I just get joy out of kids having fun. If there's some place for me to sit and watch my grandkids play and have fun, I'm satisfied. If every now and then they have a musical program in the park that is geared toward older people, I'm satisfied. It's a small area. We don't expect basketball courts and all of that. That brings trouble, because no one is here to man that area at night when everybody else is sleeping and they're there doing whatever they do. We just want something that's really nice for the kids' age, and being as I'm my age, I enjoy that more so than me coming out trying to do something. I'm gonna get me in, but right here at this park, I'm just looking at the kids. I really am.
So to speak for the greater community, it's really about the kids. This
Yes,
park is
for me
kids.
it is. For
Okay.
me it is.
Well, just to answer your question, when you say, the families, these are the elders. And no, I'm telling you, and, there's just like with a component with our academy. We reach down to the parents. There's a lot of parents that don't know how to be a parent. You see these folks here?
They care.
Absolutely. I mean, this could be a site where they can come here and work with these young moms with parenting skills. So it could be more than just about playing basketball and things like that. So that's where the family involvement comes from, because all this wisdom here and all this skill, they can bring it to the table and make better parents from the parents that we have that are dealing with these kids today that are having problems. And some of the problems is that just some young parents don't know how to be parents. And we use these people. And we use this great lady right here to work on this. So, that's a lot can come from this when you talk about just the fact of, involving the community and the parents and all that stuff. So, that's a vision that I see that would answer that question. And I'm sure that they would be down for it, because if they didn't, they wouldn't be here.
So clearly it's about getting you guys to mix with the younger parents
Absolutely.
And the kids. And so
Absolutely.
what draws you to the park is just the fact that there are kids here. So bring the kids and you guys will come as well. It's pretty much what you're saying. So, and I think one of the things that I think is really impressive about your application and everybody that's standing around here is how much the community has come out and all the different organizations. That's really impressive from my viewpoint. And what, $100,000, sadly, is a lot of money, but it doesn't go very far when we're talking about infrastructure. A new playground would easily sop up $100,000 and then some. So it's how can we do, what's the most that we can do with that? And I think that's where, if you guys are awarded the opportunity here, where we really have to be creative. And Bridget's got a lot of ideas that she can work with you guys to come up on, of how do we make that $100,000 go as far as we can, but to really achieve that goal. It sounds like, from what I'm hearing, the biggest goal is whatever we can do, just get the kids back in the park. Get them back in the park, get them off their screens, get them back out and interacting with other people. I think that's fantastic. And you've got a beautiful park here. It really is lovely. And it's not that far off that it couldn't be made to really sparkle. And I think that's what, for me, why I rank this. When I did my assessment, I think you guys were number 1 or number 2, because I looked at it and said, the park has a lot of potential, and $100,000 could make it shine. And it's not that some other parks where $100,000 really aren't going to go that far. It will just get sopped up very quickly. But for this park, I think it's possible. So I'm excited if you guys are chosen as a finalist again. I'm 1 vote, and the board will come together, and there's representatives from every ward in the city, and then a few from Friends of Metro Parks. So we are trying to do this in as non-partial, non-biased way as we can to be fair to everybody. And we're looking, our criteria are, what is the community involvement? What is the likelihood of continued success? So that if we put $100,000 in, that the community can keep the engine running. Because the city obviously has limited resources, they can only do so much. And it's empowering the community to do this and do this park right. So that's what we're trying to do. So again, and I told this to the last park that we visited, even if you guys don't win this year, what you've done today is so impressive. Do not give up, because eventually it will reach the top. If it's not this time, it will be extremely soon. I'm confident of that, because everybody likes Kerr Park. And so what I'd have to say is I really like what you come out to say. I look forward to hopefully working with you. I don't have any further questions at the moment here, but yes.
I had an opportunity to work with Kaboom a couple years ago when Cleveland Clinic and a lot of different organizations, the playground that was done in Kimball. So we're familiar with them, and we're honored to be, like you said, in the final rim here. Hopefully we can get over the hump, and all the other organizations like the Garth Foundation and the United Way, all those partners with all that money there, putting it together, it can really make a difference. But for the older people or the younger people, it gives them somewhere to walk with their grandkids, just to walk and talk, and the strollers can come and the moms can just walk with the kids and get exercise like that. So
can I just add something about so just so everybody knows, the Kaboom project is happening. So the $100,000 grant from the Akron Parks Challenge would be in addition to what's happening. So
what's Kaboom gonna do?
Kaboom, one of the things that we heard from the community was the importance of a rubberized surface, so that sort of upped the budget a bit. But that is still part of their role is also to engage the community and find out what the kids want. So we would have sessions, hopefully in person, with kids drawing ideas of what they want. So the playground, to me at least, in the way that EJ and I have talked about it, is like that first step towards the rest of the park as well. It's kind of like that that foundation, I think. So that's happening, period. We have funding from the health department that has to be spent this year. So I know the city's committed to that project, and we're committed to working together on that. Where else the rest of that funding comes from is to be determined, but it'll either come from the city or from a foundation.
So if I can ask you a question, so for mentoring, what infrastructure do you need?
So for mentoring, we want to
You
work.
say, what do you,
Like what infrastructure, what could we build to support the mentoring part?
what you could build? Well, our organization, we mentor kids from all over Summit County. All right, and then on Saturdays in the summer, they're taking on field trips. Okay, and doing a lot of outdoor activities and things like that. One of the activities could be housed here for, let's say, a 5-week program where we'll bring someone in to put on a workshop. It may be about just growing healthy food or arts and crafts.
Teach them how to play tennis.
The tennis and also golf, because a lot of black and brown kids don't, golf is not an interest to them. So we can, create a partnership with Mud Run out here that we have done some work with to come here on a weekly, for 3 or 4 weeks, 5 weeks to do something with the kids in that area. So, the mentoring will continue to go on. I mean, from in school to the summer program. And from the summer program, as far as the mentoring go, we would build off of what they're doing in Akron Public Schools with the testing and everything, enrichment classes. There's a lot of things that, that can be brought to this community that just would help the kids grow a little.
Yes, sir. Can I piggyback on that? What we're doing at the Cleveland Clinic, we're talking to high school students right now pretty much on Zoom, but we're talking to them about medical opportunities, meaning medical careers. I'm an orthopedic technologist, so I work with orthopedic surgeons. So kids, medical assistants and different things in nursing. So with this park getting a facelift, would basically give them a great place to come, talk to professionals. We can have different things like that. So we're doing it with the Akron Public Schools, but with the Summit County Public Library. Kids need volunteer hours when they're going to college or need it on their resume when if they're not even going to college, getting a job. So it will teach them how to mentor younger kids. It gives them volunteer hours. It looks good on their resume. It basically does a lot for everyone. So we're excited to be involved. We hope that you will really consider us to help us get over the hump, because we need allies. And right now, you are an ally to help us. So we're grateful for you being here, and we thank you. Yes.
Bridget, you're talking about
Yes, I'm
doing
sorry.
some things out here. Is there a way that someone could build a shed to house equipment, bats, balls, tennis rackets, and get people from the community to sign up on Monday? We have tennis lessons for ages 5 to 9 or whatever. But set a schedule of activities so parents know what's coming, the kids know what to expect, and it involves everybody, those that are teachers.
Well, and that's something that if you formed a Friends of Kerr Park, that's one of the things that we offer the community here, is that we can set up a website for Friends of Kerr Park within our park or within our website to help you piggyback off of that. So you don't have to go and create your own stuff. We already have that. That's why we're encouraging for every park in Akron that the community come and establish a friends group, so you're engaging in your community, because we have resources and we can share them with you. There's no cost to be a Friends of Kerr Park. Just establish it, work with us. And that establishment of the community, yes, because Bridget knows how to work in the park and within the city to help get you some of those resources. So by having a channel, Bridget can help you navigate the city paths to get what you need to just do the maintenance here too. But I think about like I coach my daughter's softball team, but Akron, the West Akron Baseball League has a metal construction box at every baseball field, and they just have a key where there's a master key that everybody can go, that all the coaches have to go into a box. I don't see any reason why that couldn't be affixed to the pavement here, so it can't be stolen. But still, you could have, your friends group could have a key for it and be able to access the equipment, post schedules on the website.
What's
Gosh, I
that?
love that.
Insert
We
garage
stored
back.
in my garage back in the day. They never really had anything to keep them.
Yeah.
So we just let it go.
I think one of the first meetings that I went to on Zoom, there were lots of, there were different organizations promoting sports.
Right.
So especially if, like, along with Friends of Kerr Park, there were those kind of sports companies that were managing that,
Right.
that might make some sense
Right.
to have the.
That's what is Stacy's group, Alicia? Empower Sports. Yes. So they have a league that they various different sports that they work with and coach with. So yeah, that would definitely be helpful to have a garage. I also was thinking about I'm drawing a blank, but what did Alfalfa Homes put up? It's like a patio.
Pavilion.
Oh, pavilion.
A pavilion.
Oh, that's a beautiful one, right? Yeah.
You know, I think that something maybe somewhere on here, a pavilion, would be good for the events with out here as well. So I just go ahead. You were gonna say
And I was
something.
gonna say, one of the things that I was impressed with at Reservoir Park was they put in a community fire pit
Okay.
where people would come and sit in the evening and enjoy a fire and a chat.
Yeah.
And you know, I look at the spots here, and like this park would be wonderful for that. And you know,
Right.
seeing all of you out here today, I don't see any reason why the kids wouldn't be drawn out to come cook marshmallows or whatever. But that there's something that's definitely here. But those kinds of little things are easy to do. The little community nooks, the way the little sitting areas to bring people together and have a quiet space. Those are easier to do than the big things like the pavilion, because
Okay.
the pavilion is definitely doable. But it eats up a lot of the budget. So if you look at more of the smaller things, what neat little features, like this is a really cool space. The canopy of the trees, a nice shady spot, and on a hot day like this is fantastic. You just need another little bench here, or this, even the little stone seating here is really nice. This is a great spot. What could you do? What could you make this a special spot where you can get, sit, pull the kids off the playground, have a nice quiet spot here to mentor them in the shade for a minute. Or in the fall, have a nice fire pit where everybody comes together as a community. There's a lot of lovely things that you could do for this, and that's where Bridget is we've done this in other parks and seen what works and what was successful, what wasn't. These ideas can really help do that. But I think you're rallying together as a community for the benefit of your community is what really ranks highly in me. And seeing all of you out here today, this is huge. It's huge. It's great to see.
I want to tell you too about sort of what happens if you are selected, how quickly things turn around time-wise. So we are announcing the final 2 by June 1st. And then we really hit the ground running from there. It would align with the work, most likely, that Kaboom would be doing in engaging the community. So we spend the summer first working with this core team, kind of. We already sort of have the groundwork done from some of the interviews that I did. It's nice to meet you in person now. So some of that groundwork's already been done, and then I would support your work and what's the best way to ask the rest of the community what they think about that. So maybe they like a fire pit, which worked really well in Reservoir Park. Maybe they don't like the idea. So each community is different, but we spend that summer really asking what the community wants, going door to door if that's the best way to do it, having events in the park if that's what's going to get the feedback that we need. And then by the fall, it's narrowing that down to fit within that budget of $100,000. And then by hopefully around this time next year, things are under construction if we're able to really hone in on what it is the community wants. So it's all community designed, community driven. We're here to support that as a staff, and then the city's here to give us money to do it. So that's what we do.
Any other questions for us? Well, a sincere thank you to all of you for coming out and to submitting the proposal. We were very impressed, and congratulations again on being one of the finalists. I wish you good luck here. As like I said, everything's been recorded. Not all of our board members